Okay, so we just wanted to do a little video documentation of our project here. This is a French drain around the exterior of our home. The ground table, the water table is so high here that when the conditions are just right, usually end of winter, early spring, lots of rain, the groundwater just rises so high it starts coming into our home. Now our home is not have a basement. It's just built on a slab, but the water just keeps coming up so high it has no place else to go but in, and it's a mess when that happens. We bought the home in '98. It's happened 5 or 6 times when the conditions are just right and the water table's so high and there's so much rain it's got nowhere to go. It just keeps coming up and then starts infiltrating the living space of our home. So it's only happened every couple of years, but keeping our fingers crossed is no longer an acceptable solution. So we got a strategy here around the back and side of our home where the water tends to come in. For whatever reason, it doesn't come in at the other end of the house. We've got this exterior French drain system that I'm putting in, a DIY project. I've got the ditch dug and we've lined it with the geotextile fabric, non-woven geotextile fabric, and it's going to run down to that sump basin that's sitting down there, and from there we will pump it out and away from the house. So yeah, it feels good to get to this point. Got my yellow pipe sitting here ready to get put into the ditch. It's the Bachmann 4-inch 8 slots per channel pipe, and I'm excited to have it. I'm really excited to be getting this project going. Long overdue. Okay, we're in the process of backfilling the ditch with the washed stone. Our pipe's in place, verified a downhill angle towards our basin, and bring in the stones, putting them in place. Okay, so we've got this trench pretty much filled with stone and are laying the fabric back on top of it. I've connected the second line to our sump basin, which runs the length of the house down this side. And now we're going to go nuts, backfilling it with stones. Well, the next thing that I wanted to do is make sure that over here by our sump pit that I would have reliable electrical supply to this for the sump pump that I am going to install in there. And what I decided to do was to run some 1/2-inch PVC conduit up under the soffit and bring it down right here to this outlet box right that I have had here. This is a dedicated 20 amp circuit that we have used up till now for our motorhome. And we plug in the motorhome right there. It's on its own 20 amp circuit. But we only use that intermittently to take shore power to the RV when it's sitting here on our lot. And I decided this would be a good place to borrow some power, because I want to make sure that the pump has a sufficient current. I was thinking about tying the pump into this receptacle right here. It was already here on the outside of the home, but this is just a 15 amp circuit, and I know that there are inside the house other lights and receptacles that are part of that circuit. So I just need to put the make the connections here at the junction box where we're picking up our power, and the pipe is run, the wire has been fished through the pipe, and make the connections here with a receptacle that will be dedicated for this sump pump. Not fully dedicated, you know, it's sharing it with the RV, but the RV's not used, that's just using the electricity intermittently. So we're making progress here. The drainage system is in place, our sump pit is right here, still have to do some work there to install a new pump. Everything's backfilled, and now we've got the electric just about finished. Almost done. Well, here's our sump pit, and it's time to install the new sump pump. You can see that I have been using a utility, submersible utility pump in here, and there's a little bit of water in the bottom. There are the two inlets which bring the water from both directions, from that direction, from that direction. And we have, in the last few weeks, had significant rain, and this drainage system has worked very well. Even with this submersible utility pump, I was able to run a lot of the water out of the pit and away from our house, and we had no water infiltration in our home. I think it's going to be even more effective when I get the beefier sump pump with its automatic shut off and turn on, powered here in our new receptacle, which we've mounted right near the pit. But you'll see the top of this sump pit is right at ground level, and I want to get it actually a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do is I picked up another one of these exact same sump basins, and I'm going to cut off the bottom and slide it into here so I can get another. They slide in, they're stackable. They're stackable when you find them in the store, and I know that I can get another 6 inches or so of height onto this. I'll caulk around the perimeter, and that way be able to fill in a little bit better here with dirt, because it's actually a little bit lower than I wanted. So I'm going to pull the pump out here, and move that aside. And I have not cut the bottom of this out yet, but you see it slides right down in there. Now, right now, that's sitting on top of the two inlets down lower. But something like that would give me another 8 or 10 inches. So I'm gonna cut off, 8 or 10 inches off the bottom of this. And I think I'm gonna try it with this circular saw, and that should allow me to have a deeper pit. All right, so do you think I should draw a line or kind of just wing it? I think I want to kind of just wing it. That wasn't bad at all. Now my wife can use that for a planter or something. Always resourceful. All right. Now let's see what that's going to look like if we drop it into our pit. It's good. That's good. Good. That's very good. I like that because that gets me some more space. Gets me some more height so I can backfill dirt in a little bit higher around here. All right, so I want to put that in, and I've got some silicone caulk, something like this. This is beige colored, but this is 100% silicone, which you make a pretty good seal right in here. That's pretty nice. Does not have to look real neat. Just has to be on there nice and good. So I'm gonna leave that to dry for 24 hours. And then I will come back and, I don't know, I might give it another round of caulk, probably doesn't matter. And then we'll be ready to install the new pump. Good stuff. Home stretch. All right, so I've got the sump pump down in the pit. We're installing it. I put a couple of bricks in there to keep the pump from moving around too much when it's running and vibrating. It's now time to put the cover on and run our pipes to the discharge area. And I think we're about done here, folks. Here's our sump pit, pumps down in there, and it's plugged in, it's ready to go. This elbow is just a vent, really, the hole there. Probably not that important, but since I had this opening in the top of the lid, I wanted to do something with it. All right, so runs along the fence and out right here, right there. I have not yet decided exactly what kind of termination I want to put there, or what kind of connection, so that I can connect a hose and run it, pump this stuff, water way out to the yard. I'm 165 feet from the road. Love to be able to pump it out to there and then let it run down the street to the nearest storm drain, storm basin. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do here yet to finish this off. Some kind of connection where I can connect a hose, and if not all the way to the street, at least out to the further part of the yard. So I'm pretty sure this is going to go a long way towards solving that problem with the rising groundwater, get the water away from our house. Showed you how I've done it with trenching on both sides here of the house coming down to this pit. Our new pump's installed, got electric for it, so bring it on. I'm confident that this is going to solve that water infiltration problem that we get from time to time. In fact, I've already seen it working with that submersible pump that I had in there. But now the big guy's in and he's ready to go. I invite your comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, ways to make it better, improvements, criticisms, whatever you got. Please leave it in the comments section below. It's another DIY project with yours truly, Buck WSR Weezer. This one was a long time coming. I'm glad to finally have it done. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Okay, I had to show you this because it's just too cool. I put the garden hose inside the pump, inside the sump pit to fill it up with water to see how this new pump would work. So if you're patient, you'll see it shoot out of here. All right, that's great. Love that. It's going to keep us high and dry.